This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop. This is a sham. Welcome to DBL. I was like, where's Rob, man? I got a little nervous, and he came in from the darkness.
Like a ninja. Like a ninja.
That shot that you came in, I was like, uh-oh.
See, that's the thing. I never worry about Rob. Rob's around. He's got it.
You know what? It is like that. Rob, he's got your back.
Yeah.
He's there. All right, guys. Did you see this? Matthew McConaughey, who was born in Uvalde, Texas, was at the White House yesterday, and he gave a very emotional speech calling for gun reform. If you missed it, take a look.
Look, we heard from so many people, right? Families of the deceased, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, Texas Rangers, hunters, Border Patrol, and responsible gun owners who won't give up their Second Amendment right to bear arms. And you know what they all said? We want secure and safe schools, and we want gun laws that won't make it so easy for the bad guys to get these damn guns. We need responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. We need background checks. We need to raise the minimum age to purchase an AR-15 rifle to 21. Can both sides rise above? Can both sides see beyond the political problem at hand and admit that we have a life preservation problem on our hands?
I couldn't agree more. Matthew and his wife spent last week visiting with the families of the victims in Texas, and he got emotional at one point. I think you will too. Check it out.
Maite wore green high-top Converse with a heart she had hand-drawn on the right toe because they represented her love of nature. Camilla's got these shoes. Can you show these shoes, please? Wore these every day. These are the same green Converse on her feet that turned out to be the only clear evidence that could identify her after the shooting. How about that?
Listen, I just want to say I love what Matthew McConaughey said. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but he brought in not only why can't we on both sides of the aisle kind of find a level playing ground, and he also brought in some human emotion, showing those shoes. Like, even if you can't even visualize this in your head, these are the shoes of a dead girl that was shot by one of these guns. It's like he hit every note. He's very charismatic in himself. He's obviously a great actor. But I think we need someone like Matthew McConaughey to wake America up.
I think Matthew McConaughey was probably one of the most perfect people to initiate or to stand out and say, I am going to lend my voice to this topic. First of all, he's from Uvalde.
Yep.
Matthew McConaughey has a very diverse fan base. I think when it comes in, even with politics, I think when we have this conversation about politics, we aren't really we're talking to gun owners, but we're also talking to people who may not fall on the side of the aisle that you believe they fall on just because they're a gun owner. So I think when we talk about it politically, we're losing a lot of people because, like, for instance, I say I'm a responsible gun owner because I am a responsible gun owner, and I did all of my training to make sure that I would be that. However, I don't agree with people just being like, don't take away my guns. I want sensible, responsible gun control.
And he was saying the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I respect people's reasoning. I wasn't a gun owner until someone broke into my home while I was in the shower. That changes you. So everybody has a reason for why they think the way that they do. But we also have to be reasonable when it comes to the safety of not only ourselves, but our entire community, our country.
Yeah, I think what was really important and what you guys are both saying is at the very beginning, he said this: we're not as divided as they're making it us out to be. He wasn't speaking to the politicians. He was speaking to Jeffs, to the Ericas, to the normal human beings that don't have an aisle. It's nonpartisan. They just don't want green Converses with blood on their hands. They don't want that. The other thing I'll say here is bringing up that image, right, of Camilla holding that. Every tragedy usually has an image. The trench coats from Columbine, right? Jackie O in the blood-stained pink dress on with LBJ swearing in. Bringing that green Converse was so important to visualize and bring heart to the matter. That's a little girl's shoe. That's all you can see with a heart. She drew that. There's nothing else you can do but feel bad about that. Brilliant move by Matthew McConaughey. Well said, and I think you're absolutely right. he could not have been there could not have been a better person.
But I'll tell you, Tori, there's other people that feel differently.
They do.
Because there are some people who say Matthew is being hypocritical, calling for gun reform on one hand, while also portraying characters. I don't even know what world we're living in. Portraying characters in movies that use firearms and end up glorifying guns. He's portraying a character. I mean, I don't know what's happening in the world. When they can't differentiate who a character is and who reality is. And
it's not that. We have a yes but society. No one ever wants to answer the topic at hand. It's easier to divert and say yes but what about
distraction.
Like, it's all about a distraction. This is it's actually very effective because we see it all the time.
We're talking about it.
Like, we're talking about gun control. Yes, but what you're really talking about is my ability or hindering on my freedoms. And we're talking about sensible gun control. No, what you're talking about is coming in and taking just because this is the only part of the conversation that you understand, we understand that because you're completely inflexible of thinking to talk about the conversation that's at hand, and we need to stop the yes buts. First of all, it's annoying as hell. No one is ready for any conversation, so
nothing happens.
Right. So that's what we need to stop. Anytime someone's like, but negates everything that was said before. This is very basic grammar, people. Very basic fundamentals of lexicon.
And it's the same thing that frustrates me, the yes, but. People aren't listening, Al. They're not listening like we're listening to each other up here. They're waiting to talk. They didn't see Matthew McConaughey give that emotional speech or that little girl's shoes. They're waiting. Is he done? Okay, but like Erica said, he has a gun in True Detectives, so what a hypocrite.
Right.
Jeff, what you're doing.
Are we having a conversation? Am I on the same planet as you?
No, we're not, because the people here, the people in this room, most of the people looking at us, we are on the same page. So in a weird way, we are all preaching to the choir. We don't want to see another pair of Converse that are blood-soaked. What we don't understand, and this is what I said in such a weird word to say, it doesn't roll off the tongue, that it never catches on with the American public because we have this ideal that we are in a free society. We are under minoritarian rule. That means a few people control how we feel.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is just all the things that we left England for. It's happening now because when you have polls where 90, you can't get 92% of people to say that cake is good. So when you get 90% of people saying we want to fix this, but yet we still
nothing happens.
Nothing happens. It's because there's a few people. Because as soon as that Uvalde thing happened, for Erico, there was Tori that were in front of their televisions crying. There were 4 or 5 people in a quiet business room at some hotel figuring out how we're going to spend this.
The doors.
How are we going to do this? Okay, are we going to go with the race angle? Are we going to go with the poor people angle?
The security angle.
Are we going to go with the all cops are great angle? Are we going to go with stop hating on cops angle? And they did it, and they rolled it out like they've done every other thing, whether it was George Floyd or Ferguson. There are a few people that make it so that we cannot come together as a people when we're all just like, we don't want to see dead black men on the ground. We don't want to see dead kids at school. But yet we still don't get anywhere because we are under minoritarian rule. And until we fix that, we go nowhere.
Listen, that was well said, Alan. Applause. I want to applaud Matthew McConaughey and his wife for stepping up, and I think that message is going to be heard.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Let's hope.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit here. Todd and Julie Chrisley are self-made moguls of reality television, pulling in around 2 million viewers on every episode of their show, Chrisley Knows Best. They are the most watched original series on USA Network right now, so in case you aren't familiar with the show, here's a little clip.
We're determined to help Daddy get over his claustrophobia, so therefore we've come up with a plan to help him face his fears.
We're not going through the damn car wash.
It's so fun!
I don't give a I don't want to go through the car wash.
It's step 1 of immersion therapy. You'll be fine.
Oh my God, look at this, how dark it's getting.
There should be a pee. No, not that.
I'm getting out. I'm getting out.
No, Daddy, stop. Stop. Oh my God.
So for the last 3 weeks, the couple has been in court battling bank fraud and tax evasion charges, and yesterday a jury found them guilty on all counts. Prosecutors say they swindled smaller banks out of nearly $30 million and then filed for bankruptcy to avoid paying more than $20 million in back taxes. The couple could face up to 30 years in prison. My wife's a big fan of this show. I don't know. She loves it, so I've caught it often. Her family loves it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a Southern show.
How does she feel about this?
I haven't talked to her about this specifically.
Didn't you see her
this
morning?
When I get home.
You've had all day.
To be honest with you, no, I didn't. I didn't. I was working out. I got up, cooked the kids breakfast, and she was upstairs doing something. And I was like, see you later. Yeah.
This is so classic. Like, I mean, everybody is trying to fake it till they make it. And that's a game that people can't really catch up with, because to borrow $30 million, and these were small banks, community banks, that they defrauded out of $30 million. So I think that they're going to see time. I know people disagree. And they should. I mean, people are doing this on a regular basis on much more micro levels, but it makes an impact. And in the end, we all pay for it.
Yeah, they will see time, because not only this is felony level, $30 million from many different banks. They're all suing you, all of them. And not only that, to then go into bankruptcy, the wife is now charged with obstruction of justice. This is a serious crime with serious jail issues. And I'm telling you, yes, there are spinoffs for their kids. These two will be in jail.
I just wonder if like Jeff is just like has a microphone like that's coming from my brain, because you're like, really, because you can't believe rich people could go to jail.
I don't think they're gonna. I'm gonna disagree.
I think they might do a little like Martha Stewart, like year and a half.
No.
I don't
but
think
the question, and I'm going to ask you this, Jeff, do you think it'll be better? Because Martha Stewart came out, she came up, started hanging out with Snoop, they had a show. You know, obviously Lori Loughlin, she got work as soon as she came out of jail. There is work, Mike, the situation, he changed his life. Maybe, could this be a good thing for their career?
I don't know. First of all, I don't think they're going to see time. I'm just going to put that out there. I definitely could be wrong. But my thing is like you say something 30 years ago and you got wiped off the planet. Didn't they just get renewed, or their kids have a renewal?
Kids have spinoffs, every single one.
So it's okay. If you're making money, we got your back. But if you said something 40 years ago and you're no longer relevant, get the hell out of here. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
You figured it out.
Yeah. Capitalism.
Coming up on DBL. Can you guess which actress was offered the part to play Madonna in a new biopic? We'll tell you. Oh, boy.
Closed captioning provided by...
This June, DBL isn't holding back.
I've already spent my time and all of my sanity on trying to make you happy.
I like a little cheese on my potatoes.
That wasn't going on in my head.
That's what we need more of, conversations in this country.
Yeah, I like that. DBL is all new every day. Ozark. Oh, you know what?
We're talking
I just watched yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you owe me? For what? Oh.
I just want to show a bet
Tequila.
being made on camera, so it is seen. I'm paying back a bet.
Hold on a second. She gave me $1. She owes me now 32 sandwiches.
40. Anyway, this is because I thought The Rock's tequila was Terramana, but it's Terramana.
Terramana. Yes, and I have to thank Erica Cobb for that birthday present. Did you know that I love that tequila?
Oh, Jesus. I thought so we were in between gin, which I was like, I don't think he drinks gin anymore, but he's been talking about tequila, and it's George Clooney's brand, so he's gonna love it.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
amazing.
The Reposado one.
I take I went back when I still drank. I went on that tasting with Mario Lopez. I think.
Oh yeah,
Casa de Mexico. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
If you get like the nicer ones that you sip, because everyone thinks tequila in college, and you're
it's
a bad experience.
I didn't go, so I don't know.
Tequila is a very
Have you ever had a bad
popular.
tequila experience?
No. So we had friends come in from Cabo. They live in Cabo
even when you were young?
for my husband's birthday, and they brought these these specific sipping
really
little shooter things from Cabo, and they made them. It's all handmade, so they're put into a specific slot, and apparently, depending on how much you sip, it takes you longer to get it right. That makes sense.
That just sounded like she self-edited at the end.
That sounded like after you drink like after you drink like a bottle, you're like, that's the explanation you leave with.
Happy hour started early. We all go to the zoo.
Tune into the commercial breaks. Go on YouTube. All right, so welcome back. Who would make the best Madonna? That was the question we asked right before we went to break. Let's take a look. Who's this gal?
Look at Tori. Now she's about to assault the DJ in a second.
This is what Madonna actually did. She gave a tape or a cassette. I played her in a biopic, as we all know. I did.
Wow, that's assault, brother.
Terrible acting. I had no emotion.
Okay, so if you didn't know, that was Tori Shulman playing Madonna.
Correct.
Apparently.
In the Japanese biopic for Madonna. It was very obscene.
What's the name of it?
It's called Madonna Biopic. TV Asahi's Madonna Biopic. It was 3 days, and they watched it like TRL. Like a lot of people watched. I'm pretty sure Madonna watched.
Okay, we have to talk about the actual story. Lucky for us, it's not you, Tori. That was in the script. It's actress Julia Gardner.
Okay.
According to E.T., the Inventing Anna and Ozark star is the top choice to play Madonna in her new biopic. Other names on the list: Florence Pugh, Euphoria's Alex Demi, did I say that right? And Odessa Young. Alexa Denny. I didn't look at those names and I was terrified.
Yeah, Julie Garner, I think would be such a great choice. I'm pretty sure Andy Cohen asked her about that on Watch What Happens Live, and she was a little coy, but also was like, I mean, it's Madonna.
Yeah.
I could see that.
She has the same nose, if you guys look carefully at the nose, which is this like really cool down-turned nose, and I could see her melting in a way in which you lose her. I also happen to think, none of those people I think will do it. I also happen to think she is a really big up-and-coming star.
Yes.
And I think she really melts well into that character, and you need someone like that to make it believable. See the nose?
Yeah, she looks just like her.
She really does.
Now,
See what I'm saying?
I was going to say, Tori, now when you were playing Madonna, what was the premise of the movie?
Yeah.
Was you just going around finding DJs?
No, they told the story of Madonna's life, and I used different wigs they bought, I think, from Costco to indicate where I was.
Did she assault a lot of DJs?
So this is how her first song was ever played at a club. She went to a lot of gay clubs, a lot of different clubs, and in New York, she went up to a DJ, handed him her demo, kissed him, and he played it in the club, and that's how she started. Mine isn't as good as hers was.
Okay, I hope that movie's just like Tori's.
That was terrifying.
I want to watch it. Tori, I'm going to watch it.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with the real actress, Laura Dern. What did she have to say about reuniting with her Jurassic Park co-stars 30 years later?
On May 24th, a gunman killed 19 children and 2 teachers in Uvalde, Texas. On June 2nd, President Biden gave a speech calling for more restrictions on gun ownership. In it, he made this claim about the victims of gun violence.
Over the last 2 decades, more school-age children have died from guns than on-duty police officers and active-duty military combined.
Let's verify those statistics. Since 2000, have there been more gun deaths among American children than police and military in the line of duty? Our sources, the CDC, the Department of Defense, and the Officer Down Memorial page. The CDC keeps data on fatal injuries, including the number and age of people killed by guns. According to that data, from 2000 to 2020, nearly 32,000 children under the age of 18 were killed by firearms in America. More than half are homicides, several thousand suicides, and some accidents. This does not yet include deaths from 2021 or 22. For the number of active duty military killed since 2000, we can go to the DoD. Their information says just over 7,000 soldiers and civilian employees have died in America's various post-9/11 military operations. It does not specify cause of death. And for police, the Officer Down Memorial page tracks every line of duty death. They say just over 1,200 law enforcement officers have been killed by guns since 2000. Add that to the just over 7,000 active duty military who died, a number that is not exclusively gun related, and you have about 8,000 deaths. The number of children killed by guns in that time frame, just under 32,000. So we can verify, yes, since 2000, there have been more gun deaths among American children than the combined gun deaths among police and military in the line of duty. In fact, it's nearly 4 times as many. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
If our world's gonna survive, what matters is what we do now.
I could use your expertise.
You coming or what?
Welcome back. Her role in Jurassic Park made her a movie star, and now she's back for the latest film of the franchise, Jurassic World Dominion. Check out our interview with the wonderful Laura Dern.
The Laura Dern, welcome to DBL. So now that you've had almost 30 years to make up your mind, the question everybody wants answered, what's your favorite dinosaur?
I might still have to say the Triceratops from the original Jurassic Park.
Yes. I know that wasn't real, but you touching his eye and the deal, it was so real. Great job on that.
It was emotional.
It really was amazing. All right, you delivered one of the most, or some of the most iconic lines from the original movie. One was, "We can discuss sexism in survival situations when I get back."
Yup.
We can discuss sexism in survival situations when I get back.
My favorite is,
"Dinosaurs eat man. Woman inherits the earth."
So how does Jurassic World Dominion continue flipping the script on gender roles and sexism? Because it's kind of a feminist movie in a way.
Well, bless you for saying it. We wanted this female partner and equal in this action film, which was very rare at the time.
Yeah, 93.
And with the lines that I was privileged to get to say. And with Bryce Dallas Howard and now DeWanda Wise, it's a gorgeous thing to be in this film with really extraordinary, strong, badass women that feel like real equals in the storytelling.
So Laura, we talked on the show about the 20-year age gap between you and Sam Neill and what it'd be like if it was actually reversed. What made you see that relationship differently?
I'll be honest, at the time that we made that movie,
it was...
no one even thought about it.
Yeah, I know.
So what's amazing is we're having a conversation. Let's just put it this way. This junket, you guys are asking that question. When we made the first movie, no one asked me.
That's so interesting.
I was the perfect age for a actor in his 40s.
So we have evolved.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, so we have evolved. And he's a very charming, dashing man, and I'm very lucky to be back with him, and such a beautiful actor. So I wouldn't want it any other way now that we're back together, but it is an interesting question about Hollywood.
Yes.
Well, I have to ask you because, like in the actual movie, a hurricane hit Hawaii while you were filming the original Jurassic Park. How did that affect the cast and crew? Because I've been through a couple and they're no fun.
They are no fun. And it was close, and it was terrifying, and it made us family forever. Stephen and his wife Kate, when my son was born, came to the hospital. Like, we're family. Because you go through something like that. And then I returned, and we all moved in together because we were in a global pandemic.
Right. Wow.
So we have experienced many things together, and this is a very deep family now with this new cast.
Stephen came to the hospital to meet my children.
Spielberg?
Too.
Yep.
Spielberg.
Sure. Good old Steve.
Jeff Goldblum delivered my children.
I am Jeff Goldblum.
So sweet. Oh, I didn't mention, he also delivered my children also.
He's a doctor.
Wow, Laura, thank you so much for chatting with us. Be sure to watch Jurassic World Dominion, premiering June 9th in theaters. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Great to see you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Parents will do whatever it takes to make sure their children don't have empty bellies. That's why this nationwide formula shortage is fueling desperate measures to find even just one can of the precious commodity. Amplifying the stress is both the mom guilt and mom shaming, stemming from a social media culture that is too quick to criticize. One of the most common questions raised amid the shortage, why not just breastfeed? Let's verify. Is it even possible to reestablish breastfeeding after stopping? The answer, yes, but relactation, as it's called, is much easier said than done. Our sources are the La Leche League, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and certified lactation consultant Beth Sanders.
It is possible. It is also difficult. And the longer it has been since a parent breastfed or made milk, the more difficult it is. And this is why I'm really encouraging families right now that if you're currently lactating, continue to do so to the point that you're able.
As breastfeeding slows or stops, the body signals the brain to produce less milk, eventually drying up the supply. Sanders said that's why relactation is most successful if done within a few weeks of stopping. The process takes a big commitment for sometimes minimal payout. To re-stimulate milk production, the Leche League recommends the mom hand express or pump at least 8 to 12 times a day, including at night, for 20 to 30 minutes. If baby will latch, put him or her to the breast before and after each feeding, and consult a certified lactation consultant who can develop a plan and offer support.
Good nutrition and hydration definitely helps. So just lots and lots of healthy calories going in, lots of hydration and rest. I think one thing that we tend to do in our culture is minimize the importance of rest.
Set realistic expectations. Even if it works, it doesn't always produce enough breast milk for the baby's needs. So the mother might still need to supplement with formula or pasteurized donor milk. That said, Sanders does not recommend mixing breast milk with formula powder because it can make the nutrient concentration unsafe or lead to waste, so offer them separately. In conclusion, yes, we verified relactation is possible in a short window of time, but can be difficult and often requires help from a certified lactation consultant. And relactation is not the big picture solution to the formula shortage. Lactation experts acknowledge if a woman has stopped breastfeeding, there's a reason. For example, a milk allergy, a medical condition, or lack of pumping breaks at work. So in certain circumstances, relactation might not be ideal, and there's no shame in that. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Expect to pay more for summer camp this year. Let's connect the dots. According to the American Camp Association, the average cost of day camp has more than doubled from $76 last year to $178 this year. And sleepaway camp has tripled up to $449 a day. A lot of this can be blamed on inflation. The president of the American Camp Association told Yahoo Finance News everything from labor costs, food, supplies, and COVID safety precautions are costing more for summer camps. In 2020, only about 20% were in operation thanks to the pandemic. Last summer, about 2/3 of camps were open. While more are expected to be open this year, it could still be tough to find a camp that fits your budget. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Summer is just around the corner and many of us will be enjoying some fun in the sun, but it's important to protect yourself from the harmful UV rays. Here's a great way to enjoy life outside with Sunsetter. Along with applying sunscreen, wear protective clothing when possible, such as long sleeve shirts, pants, hats, and long sleeve hats and sunglasses. Finding some shade is also a great way to keep you and your family protected with an affordable custom features without the custom price. Sunsetter is America's #1 best-selling awning. Spend more time outside and get the best value with Sunsetter. It's been an industry leader for 30 years. Call 1-800-513-6851 or visit sunsetter.com for guaranteed pricing on American-made, built awnings that last.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll be getting an awning. Yeah, it's time to be outside. We've been inside for 2 years with COVID. Be sitting outside a lot. Get the Sunsetter.
Isn't a little sun good? A little vitamin D?
Well, yeah, but if you have like a backyard like ours,
you gotta go to Sunsetter. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.